Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Game On Dota 2 Invitational brought to you by Azubu and Dota 2 Lounge. My name is Cygnus and I'll be your caster today, and my wonderful and talented co-caster this evening will be Danny Lee. Hello, Danny.
Hi, thanks for having me today. And for our lovely viewers at home as well, today's match is going to be between Tornado ROX versus Danish Bears. We are having single elimination best of three series for all of the teams playing in this tournament. So obviously, if you lose the game, then you're going to be out of these. And the winner of the tournament as well will take home 1,300 euros. So it's quite a bit of money on the line for these teams.
Oh, most certainly, and it looks like we're already getting into the first picks and bans, and it looks like our first phase bans are going to be an Earth Spirit, the Death Prophet, the IO, and just one more. What do you think about these opening bans so far, Danielle?
Well, look at Earth Spirit, and this is pretty much just one of the most obvious bans in the current meta. We've seen how strong this hero can be, and especially what he can give you during the, not just the laning phase, but also during the mid game. Like, once he's got those levels, he is so annoying during those team fights. It's just so difficult to deal with him. So this is just a obvious ban for Tornado ROX. Danish Bears, they banned out the Wisp. Now, something to note as well before we go into this game into detail, this is a rematch for Tornado ROX and Danish Bears, because they played, I believe it's like 1 or 2 days ago, they played each other in the BTS EU best of 3 series, and Danish Bears 2-0 Tornado ROX. And in both games, Tornado ROX picked Wisp. Not win with the Wisp, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, the Wisp has always been a favorite pick for Tornado ROX, and it's certainly one of their signature heroes, so it does make sense that Danish Bears and their captain has done the research. And the other thing that I wanted to comment before we get into the first phase picks is, do you feel like Earth Spirit was still a good ban, even though they have reduced like the it's now melee range for his rock form with the Aghanim Scepter? Do you still feel like he's annoying enough to be a first ban now, even with that change?
You have to remember, an Aghanim Scepter is quite a ways away for an Earth Spirit, and you normally feel his impact before that item even comes onto the field. So, like, yeah, he got the Ags nerf, but you haven't really nerfed the main component of that hero. He's still great. He hasn't really been changed, honestly.
Reserve time.
Yeah, and of course, we didn't really mention this, but Invoker, first ban, but I think the majority of people, if you guys have been following the Dota meta, it's pretty self-explanatory why the Arsenal Magus is pretty much always considered a first ban. His laning phase is just far too strong, and he's essentially useful in every single draft. He can push, he can gank, he can roam, like whatever you really want him to do, so he's going to be banned out as well. And so Danish Bears picking up the Chen. Chen has really made a resurgence in this latest patch, and I'm really happy to see him. Do you feel that this is going to be like a very early push strategy for Danish Bears?
Typically, when you pick up the Chen, you're looking at a timing push with the Chen. Obviously, not just a push, but you also want to go for that death ball, which a lot of teams been going for. And Chen gives you everything. He gives you auras, he gives you a heal, he gives you a damage amplification with the penance as well. Like, he's so good for this death push meta.
10 seconds remaining.
It's just so difficult, especially when he's on the other side, because Tornado ROX now not only have to deal with heroes, but they have to worry about creeps. So yeah, Chen's just so good. If he gets a mechanism as well, it makes it so much more difficult, because Tornado ROX has to put a little bit more emphasis into killing off heroes, otherwise there could be too much healing coming out from the Danish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, I do like this opening draft right now by Tornado ROX with the Vengeful Spirit and the Bat Rider. I am absolutely in love right now with the Vengeful carry, the Bat Rider itself making kind of a comeback in the more recent games that we've been watching. Do you feel that with the Bat Rider pick, with this kind of Death Ball strat, it's really great for Bat Rider just to be able to blink in, be able to pick off maybe one of their main pushers, and that can really put kind of a wrench in the gears of Danish Bears?
It can be one of the factors for Tornado ROX to sort of pull apart this Death Ball strat, but I think at this point, what Tornado ROX is going to have to be looking for is they want to try and make things happen before that timing window is available for Danish Bears. So you're looking for a really early blink on the bat, and go for roughly like 10 to 12 minute pickoffs to just slow down the progression of all of the Danish Bears heroes. And mind you, this Bat Rider pick is a signature hero for BZZ. He is a very well practiced Bat Rider player, so he is not a person to really look down at, especially once he has that signature hero.
Certainly. And do you feel like this is going to be a middle bat rider?
It depends on the circumstances. It can be,
Radiant team
but I
back.
presume this is just going to be one of the either off lane or side lane bat rider. It really depends on Tornado ROX. I prefer if they put a more tempo controlling mid laner to accompany this bat rider pick, so something that can provide a little bit more damage output to
seconds
really
remaining.
hammer down those kills. Because you have to remember, you look at Danish Bear's heroes
5
already,
seconds
you've got the
remaining.
Chen and the Oracle. You have so much sustain between those two heroes, and you also now have to
Reserve
worry
time.
about this false promise from the Oracle. Like, if he's in range to false promise a hero that gets lassoed, that's time for Danish Bears to counterplay Tornado ROX while they're trying to lasso
Dire
a hero.
team back.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. So we are moving into our second phase bans. Danish Bears have eliminated the Outworld Devourer and the
Dire
Sven,
team pick.
Tornado ROX, the Nature's Prophet, and the Viper. So is the Viper ban maybe an indication that Tornado ROX want to go for like a melee carry of some kind?
They could be. They might be eliminating strong mid possibilities as well. The one thing Viper does really great is that he can push a lot of the weaker mid laners out just because Viper does what he does. You also eliminate the possibility of the Viper being
10
the mech
seconds
carry and having the Chen picking up something else for their team.
Radiant
Silence a pick
team
for
pick.
Tornado ROX. Now, this is a rather interesting hero. Curious to know if this is going to be a core or support silencer. I'm hoping it's a core silencer. I haven't seen too much success with a support silencer, but against the heroes that Danish Bears currently have, they are not going to do very well against Global Silence.
Yeah, I really love Silencer. I feel like he is the go-to counter initiator. Anything that you do, the Silence
10
is usually
seconds
ready
remaining.
to just kind of throw you into utter chaos.
5
You're not
seconds
gonna
remaining.
really get those great blink initiations if there is going to be one in the draft of Danish Bears. So I do like the
Reserve
Silencer
time.
pickup, and I agree. I do hope that it's a core Silencer. I feel like, you know, many patches ago, Silencer was a support, but now with the changes in like the UAM, it's no longer UAM, his glaives, and the way Arcane Curse works now, I feel like he is like the go-to team fighter counter initiator, and I really do hope that we get to see like a very farm Silencer.
Juggernaut.
So Juggernaut, third pick here for Danish Bears. They've got a very balanced carry to work with, and they've even got more healing on top of this with the healing ward. Like, there's so much sustain on Danish Bears, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Tornado ROX decides to pick up an Ancient Apparition somewhere down the line. It's not
Yeah.
bad, and it will mitigate all of that healing for Danish Bears.
Yeah, there's so much healing coming out of Danish Bears, and I think that's just going to make that death ball kind of push strategy so much more dangerous because,
remaining.
I mean, Healing Ward, yeah, you're right. Healing Ward, False Promise, I mean, Purifying
5
Flames
seconds
plus the
remaining.
Chen ulti, Mechanism. How do you deal with that? You are 100%
Reserve
right.
time.
An AA would be a perfect pickup, and Tornado ROX have the room in their draft to be able to pick up something like that. But
If they
as we
do
said,
pick-
they have to play Silencer as a core if they do decide to do that. Or
Yeah,
you
they
know,
have
or
to.
Vengeful Spirit. They could play Vengeful Spirit core as well. So I feel like they have
Absolutely.
room. They have room in their draft for an AA.
I feel like it will be a support Vengeful Spirit though. Like, I looked at a couple of their previous games, and yeah, there's the Ancient Apparition pick. That was pretty much a no-brainer seeing all those heroes. But yeah, Zeke has been handling the Vengeful Spirit a lot for Tornado ROX, who is a support player. So I presume this is just going to be a support Venge. We'll go for something else as their final core. The draft is looking pretty solid so far, except for the fact that they are looking a little bit squishy. They don't have any real frontline heroes, and they don't even have a hero that picks up a natural mechanism either.
Yes, this is very true. I mean, Ancient
10
Apparition
seconds
definitely
remaining.
not natural mech carrier. So, and unfortunately,
5 seconds remaining.
I was actually thinking Tornado ROX might have done well to have the Viper
Reserve
in their
time.
own hero pool, actually. I feel like
Yeah,
that
he
would
would've
be...
been.
Because he's the natural mech carrier. He can tank somewhat. The corrosive skin is pretty decent. What would be the pick right now for Tornado ROX? I feel like
Dire team
a strength carry would be nice, but I can't really think of anything that would really pop out as being a great pick against the Juggernaut, Darkseer, Oracle.
I would have said Sven, but then I just remembered that Oracle was the Fate's Edict
10
with disarm,
seconds
so it
remaining.
wouldn't have been that great either.
Yeah, the drafting skills on Danish Bears is really
5
off the
seconds
charts right now.
remaining.
I feel like this is a crazy opener for them.
But the Darkseer
Reserve
4th pick
time.
for Danish Bears, I'm not really seeing too much synergy outside of the Juggernaut and Darkseer. Is there any why you think the Darkseer is picked up for Danish Bears? Is it just because he's a solid offlaner?
I think it's just because he is absolutely a solid offlaner, and I feel like Danish Bears also felt that probably Turner ROX were going to go for a melee carry, so Darkseer is always a good choice against that as well. Team fight wise, you're also going to get a lot of synergy with the Darkseer just being able to use his Blink Dagger, go in, get the vacuum wall off, and every single one of the heroes on Turner ROX's team right now don't fare very well in a vac wall scenario. The only thing is that they do have the silencer to be able to respond to that. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I feel like overall Darkseer just kind of fits anywhere that you really want to put him in this draft, and is a fairly flexible
10
pick.
seconds
So
remaining.
Be careful in that offlane role
5
though. Like
seconds
Vengeful Spirit
remaining.
AA+1. There's just too much damage output for the Darkseer to feel too comfortable in that lane. He might
yeah,
have to rotate into the
he'll
jungle.
definitely have to
Dire
rotate
team
into the
pick.
jungle to catch up a little bit on his farm.
So the last two bans, what are your thoughts on these heroes? Would they have fit into either draft?
I do not feel like Tiny was going to get picked up by Danish Bears. Unless maybe in your research you saw something there.
No,
Um,
no
Radiant
Tiny.
team pick.
And Queen of Pain, they do need a mid laner. Danish Bears do require a mid laner. Is Queen of Pain the choice? I mean, she's very mobile. She can push, sort of. I mean, she could pick up like a Necro book if she really wanted to, but you don't really typically see that. I mean, Tornado ROX needed a safe
10
laner,
seconds remaining.
but I think Danish Bears assumed that maybe Venge
5
was
seconds
going
remaining.
to be a carry, maybe.
Reserve time.
Maybe. I actually see synergy with the Queen. Remember the death ball strat that Danish Bears is looking at? Like you got vacuum wall, then you have sonic wave on top of that.
Yeah,
So
that's...
yeah. That would have been a great tool.
10 seconds remaining.
If Danish Bears actually picked it up themselves, I would have liked them to see. I would
Yeah,
have liked
I
them
agree.
To pick up the
5
Queen of Pain.
seconds remaining.
But it's gonna be.
Oh, they're gonna pick up an Alchemist! Alright.
Right. Out of curiosity's sake, is this going to be that utility early game Alchemist, or is it going to be that Radiance Alch that we normally? I really would like to see this early farming Alchemist. Just grab those early game items and just go with the team.
I feel like that would also be the case. Acid spray is like I think maxing the acid spray, laying that down like defensively on top of the tower, it's going to make team fighting really hard. If there is going to be a Blink Dagger coming out of Ghostic, he's going to have to be really careful about his positioning and that sort of thing. It kind of reduces the chances that he can kind of get into the team fight for a really great pickoff.
10 seconds remaining.
But yeah, I don't know about this Alchemist pick. I like Alchemist, but he's not been favored in the matchups so far in
Prepare
in
for
Pro
battle.
Dota, but we'll see what happens. All right. So Danny Lee, would you like to do the honor of showing us the Radiant side team?
Right. So on the Radiant squad, starting off with our Chen. Now some players are not using their official name. Because of that, it might be a little bit difficult to remember it off by the top of my head. So I'm just gonna call them what they are on the screen.
Yeah,
It's
just do that.
Reborn stuff.
No
Pinvin
worries.
Check, yeah. Alchemist on the Alchemist being played by Pinvin Check. This is an official name as well. So Alchemist, you are correct. We got Mango on the Chen.
Oh, this could be big.
Could be. They're gonna try and jump onto the Oracle first. They're gonna chase him down with Gyro. The rest of their team, they're gonna just jump right onto the poor AA. Like the body blocks from Mango. That was a beautiful play coming out from our Dire squad. And now they get, sorry, not Dire squad, from the Radiant squad, they get first blood. Looking at Ghostic, but he's going to get out of there. That was a bit of a weird engagement, it seemed, for the Dire squad. They had an Ancient Apparition with Chilling Touch, and unfortunately they just got split up way too much.
Yeah,
To continue on... Yeah. Sorry, to
Oh.
continue on with the introductions.
I
So,
totally had the
Darkseer-
overlay up for First Blood, GG.
Oh no!
TT Tours. Production value.
Yes. Thus, I have no idea how to pronounce the Darkseer's name. Darkseer with the incredibly long name. Pimbachek, as we said, on the Alk, Mango on the chin. Down towards the bottom, we got A on the jug, and finally we have N on the Oracle.
Alright, and on the Dire side, in the off lane, we have Gosick playing the Bat Rider. In the mid lane, we are going to have our Silencer being played by BZZ. And in the top tri lane, we have ours on the Vengeful Spirit. We have our good old YY on the Ancient Apparition. And last but not least, on the Juggernaut, we're going to have Tipo. I don't know exactly how to say that name,
Tron.
but... what's it is?
Tron.
Ron?
Yep, Tron.
Tron! Alright, there we go. Alright, we already see some good warding coming out of our friends on the Dire side with the blocking ward sentry on the side camp. That's gonna limit some of Darkseer's farm, which is pretty strategically viable at the moment. And overall assets, we have Juggernaut sitting at 3 and BZZ at 3, so doing fairly well in the overall opening last hits. I actually am pretty excited about this mid Alchemist. Do you imagine that it's going to be like a rush for the bottle?
He would need the sustain versus a silencer, without a doubt. Especially with the harassment from Glaives of Wisdom, and even the occasional last word, that's really going to chip down Pingvinchek's HP. I wouldn't be surprised if he does decide to pick up a bottle in that mid lane. He absolutely needs it. BZZ taking a lot of damage from the acid spray, they're going to be careful.
Alright, so we actually do have AA getting caught out, netted. Couple good right clicks,
Oh
a
my
penitence
goodness.
on top of him, and that's going to be a second kill on the board for our good friends on Danish Bears.
Just melted because of the ion shell there. That was poor AA, just on a warding mission. Did put the ward down though, so does this ward block?
Alright, and so in the bottom lane, we do get Oracle stealing the rune, actually, from Gosick. Gosick still sitting at level 1, has his boot saying a clarity.
Yeah, that's just the scenario that you're going to be in as a Bat Rider. Like, the level 1 engagement forced him to go for he picked Sticky Napalm first, hoping that they were going to get a target.
Yeah.
Obviously, going into lane with level 1 Sticky Napalm, that doesn't help you at all as a Bat Rider. So, even with Sticky Napalm, I don't know if he can actually jungle too well with this. He can
Oh, top lane, we have the flat cannon, and a couple more right clicks from the Venge. Is it going to be enough? Looks like we do have Tron going to dive into that tower, take a couple siege hits, but we'll pick up the Darkseer.
Is under attack.
Yeah, that's a great turn of events for that top lane. Just more gold going into Tron's pockets. Any kills, honestly, going in the Dire Squad's way this game is great because it means that they're going to get their items earlier and they will be able to contest the Radiant Squad before they decide to go for that death push strat, which they're going for.
Oh, Darkseer.
Runs into 2. The body block's coming out from Arzik. Will keep him in place for a little bit longer. And at this point, can they kill him off though? Couple more right
Oh.
needs to run. Yeah, he just drops in the nick of time. Now Arzik is in trouble. Troll, it does have an ensnare, but not going to commit it. Arzik is too healthy.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, BZZ getting the, oh, false promise. There was a potential for a kill there, but Alchemist was a little bit too low to be able to commit.
Look at BZZ as well. Like, he's dropping both Pimvinchek and N pretty darn low. If they're not careful, there is a very high chance that BZZ could turn on them.
Certainly. I mean, he already has his bottle, he has great sustain, and this last word has been doing so much damage. The only thing is that Alchemist is getting closer and closer to that level 6. He's level 5 right now, and that's going to mean that any of that damage is pretty much going to be nil once he hits that, Chemical Rage.
It will force out support rotations to deal with deck. I think at this point, they have to realize that, yeah, Alchemist is not going to be getting too much CS in the mid lane, but he's probably got points in Greevil's Greed. You have to respect that when you're going up against an Alch, so just killing him off a couple of times, it will just slow him down, but it won't deny him farm. Looks like Ghostic's going to try and take this stack here with the 4 sticky napalms onto the creeps as well. Just gets ensnared by the Oracle, but no harm done as everyone just sort of walks away. A just going back into lane. But it looks like the bat will be successful in taking a couple of these creeps at least.
Yeah, but definitely good play by Oracle, just trying to stop him from being able to take any of these stacks. And actually, let's take a look at Ghostic right now. Still just sitting on his Tranquil Boots. 4 minutes in the game. Do we have much economy coming out of the jungle, though? Oh, wow, look at this. Ours just doing the job of a support, getting those double stacks off. So that's going to really help out Ghostic later on.
Just really good stuff coming out from the die. They're preparing Ghostic for that Blink Dagger. Because obviously once he has it, that's when the game comes, that's when the Batrider literally comes online. They're going to try and jump on support into Apparition in that top lane. Looks like Chendo will be sent back with the Darkseer. Tron, he's looking,
call down?
He's not going to be able to get there in time. He will try and chase them down, but they will get the creep at least. 62 gold instead of a hero kill, yeah, that's fine, as long as he got something.
Yeah, pretty good rotation. The great thing I love about Gyrocopter is how low of the cooldown his cooldown is, and I feel like Gyro is a really smart pickup by Tornado ROX. The call down, you know, it pretty much is going to slice pretty effectively through Mango's creeps. Oh, there's a haste rune on BZZ. This could be...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Nothing really going to happen there. Yeah.
There's a 6 on BZZ though. There is an opportunity for the Dire Squad to make something happen because they have that global silence. I think at this point they just want to keep on farming with their heroes. There's no openings and they're in no... They're not really forced to play aggressively just yet. They do have a little bit of time to still keep on farming on their heroes. Like if we take a look at the CS situation, yeah, Jug's on top, but then you've got the Gyrocopter and the Silencer, the two main heroes on the Dire Squad that really wants that farm. Batrider doesn't have as much CS, but he's getting the jungle, so Ghostic isn't bad. Oh.
There is going to be a smoke coming out. However, it should be mentioned that there is a Dire ward right underneath that tower, so it's very likely that Tornado ROX saw that smoke and have pulled back.
Their positioning as well, so defensive. This actually could be very risky for the Radiant Squad if they do decide to go in, because they have to consider they are going not only into cooldown, but a potential global silence as well, and AA just pops the smoke. So unfortunately this might be foiled. They will see them incoming. So got the Darkseer looking for the hero.
Oh, there it is!
There's the global silence. Cooldown is there. They have to kill the Jug. They need to chase them. They will finish them off, and the Darkseer is going to drop as well. So already beautiful calculated play coming out from the Dire Squad. They expected something to happen and they had all the tools in the world to do it.
And there's the power of the global silence. I mean, we just saw what... I think, was Silencer even in that fight?
Nope, he was just mid lane. Oh no, he was. I remember the last word being thrown onto one of the heroes.
Okay, alright. Oh, close. Oh, Alchemist this time, yeah.
He's fine. It just really hurts. He only has a mere 3 armor. That's the sad thing when you're an Alch. You just don't have armor to work with. Like, you presume you would because of the sheer lack of muscles from Roll, but apparently that doesn't count.
Alright, so Mango picking up the mana boots. Looks like we're going to get the Guardian Greaves build coming out on the Chen. Meanwhile, our good friend Darkseer sitting at level 5. Only a soul ring and boots to his name. So a little bit slower, I think, for this Darkseer than we thought. Felt like his laning would have gone a little bit better, but looks like Batrider, yeah, he's going to be able to secure that Blink Dagger well before 15 minutes. Probably around 12, I'd say.
Yeah, so really great stuff for the Batrider. You also have to remember though, there's a Chen on the Radiant side, so it's not like the Darkseer can just go right into the jungle and farm to his heart's content.
Yeah,
like, he's got to share with the Chen. So he's going to suffer for now, but he's expecting that he will be able to get some comeback gold at some point. And obviously that tower in the bottom lane was going to help him in that department. And it seems they want to keep on pushing with the Chen as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for the tier 2, so this is... Tornado ROX need to defend this.
See the gyro and they back out. The correct play coming out from the Radiant Squad. You do not want to walk into that cooldown. Doesn't matter how much healing you have, it's just too much AoE down.
Certainly, and you also don't want to lose the jungle creeps. It's going to take you quite a while to get those auras back up. It's going to slow down the momentum, and good play by Danish, just kind of knowing when to disengage.
Now it seems the game is just sort of slowed down as both Tornado Rocks as well as Danish Bears keep on farming. Ghostic very close to that blink. Gotta keep an eye on this Bat Rider, because when that comes up, I'm expecting a smoke from the Bat to go off that blink at some point. And at this point, you would say that not only the Jug, but even to a certain degree, the Alchemist will be a primary target for the Bat. If you can get kills on those heroes on the Bat with the fresh blink, you're golden. You pretty much secured the highest priority kill of the game. Slow down their progression.
Yeah, so it looks like the item, let's take a look at the big items that are coming out. So we have the drums coming out on the Juggernaut. We also have BZZ going for the Rod of Atos. Phase Boots out on Tron, and it looks like, is this actually going to be a mech on the Darkseer?
Darkseer normally picks up mechs, so if it's not going to be the Chen, then it's typically going to be the Darkseer. Like, I assume Darkseer is going to be able to get it quicker than the Chen ever would.
Yeah. Because
of the nature of the Darkseer. So yeah, if he's already started building components, then expect the mech to be on the Darkseer. Like, also you have to remember, like, Guardian, if I'm not mistaken, Guardian Greaves Purge will dispel the silence from the Darkseer.
Yep, it will.
Which is huge when you're going up against the global silence. So it means that Darkseer won't be too worried about the global, at least.
Yeah, and I think out of all of their, like, all the people who need to be, you know, active and able to be mobile in the team fights, you are 100% right. It needs to be the Darkseer. So double damage on BZZ. They're gonna slice through this tier 1, but oh, where?
He was in the mid lane. He pulled in the Juggernaut and he dropped very low. Like, it wasn't the Jug that dropped low.
It was Bat Rider, yeah. Holy.
He still hasn't got the blink though, so to some degree I felt like that may have just been like an emergency lasso from Ghostic to keep himself alive.
Yeah.
Because he was sitting on the high ground, he kept the Jug on the low ground for vision's sake. Seems that the game's still going.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a passive game than we're used to, actually, out of Tornado Rocks. Usually these guys, both of them, play fairly aggressively, but it looks like they're both being very careful. Oh, well done, disjointed, but it will be swapped in.
I can't chase him though, he's really quick.
Yeah, those drums, they're, that's kind of what saved him there. Oh, AA Blast, though, ends up hitting on the Juggernaut. Is it going to be enough? No. Oh, magic immunity from the... Yeah, alright, he's fine. Bates Edict.
Okay, Oracle, balanced hero, I promise. But for now, we've got 3 heroes in the top lane, and it seems that Tornado Rocks wants to make a push happen in this the top lane at least. If we take a look at reinforcements, we've only got 2 in this top lane. It's the Darkseer and the Oracle. And unfortunately, these 2 heroes aren't the best counter-push heroes. It seems that they're going to back up, and we'll see the commitment coming out from the Dire as they want that T1. Is there any chance that Danish Bear's going to make anything happen when this push? It doesn't seem like it. They won't be getting anything like a Roche or a
and
Tower.
If anyone even pops their nose out, Ghostic's going to be on top of them. So, yeah, no defense for this tier 1.
So this Alchemist pick, he's gone for the first item, Armlet.
Yeah, he was down the bottom lane. I was going to mention this. Yeah, so first Armlet. What do you feel, like, how do you feel about that pick?
So Armlet on Alchemist, normally I wouldn't say this is that bad, but you're going up against an Ancient Apparition. So
who pretty much instantly counters your Unholy Aura.
It doesn't just like counter it out, but then you're essentially hurting yourself more as well because of the Armlet. So you don't really want to use it around the AA. The thing is that if he doesn't get hit by the Ancient Apparition, the Alchemist is going to be an absolute monster because what Alchemist can do. Like, he's going to regen the Armlet effect to a certain degree, but he's also going to be super tanky and he will hit hard. So the item, like, obviously you have to consider the AA, but if he does have the chance to really use it, then he is going to make great use of the Armlet.
Alright, so top tower going to be slowly dismantled by Danish Bears. Good right click from the Juggernaut. Now, it should be mentioned also that AA has picked up his Midas in a really great time. I think it was about, the first one came out at like 1320, 1330. Oh, there it is. They
But
see the
went
Chen
wrong
creeps.
way. They went the wrong way. If they went straight down that ramp, they would have seen the jug. Oh, that's unfortunate. Chen pops the ultimate. Now, did he save any of those creeps?
No, he didn't.
That's actually a pretty big waste from the Chen.
Yeah,
That's not going to be available for a minute 40. Sorry, 140 seconds.
Yeah, he did try his best to recall them, but it just wasn't enough heal to keep him alive. Firefly and some sticky napalm charges. Too good.
Too good. But you also have to know as well, like, without the Hand of God, they're not going to be feeling too comfortable making another push happen. So this is going to keep them in their own side of the map for a little bit longer. And essentially, it's just buying time for Tornado ROX to start getting those big items on their heroes. PZZ, as you said, Rod of Atos is now complete. He does like to build this item a lot, especially when he plays OD. And obviously, if you're playing a Silencer, you benefit from the extra intelligence. So, still great on the Silencer. It's great for chasing. Especially, like, you're not going to really be doing anything to a Darkseer who's surged or a Juggernaut that's going to be spit away, but for other heroes, you can definitely chase them down. The downtime on the spell is so low, like, he can use it
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Tron just poking away at the tier 2 in the top. We are going to see, like, a very slow rotation coming out of Ping. But both teams facing 4v4, oh, okay, maybe 3v4 in this bottom lane, but both of them playing like extremely passively. I'm really actually surprised because, oh, maybe not. Come on, guys.
They will spot them out. Like, the moment you see heroes, they just leave. They're playing tree tag. They don't want to be caught out. Ghost Sticks though, coming in.
Oh, there it is.
He's trying to pull them in towards his allies, but unfortunately, the false promise is going to keep him alive, and it also ends it early. So
I
that's
love
gonna be it.
the Oracle pick against the Bat Rider. I actually forgot about that interaction, that it will just keep him completely alive. Does it remove the lasso? Oh, Mango.
Removes most negative status effects. And disables on initial cast. Oh, Tron. This could be reasonable. He's trying to juke them into the cooldown. Now he's going to try and juke them through the tree line. Where's his backup? Tron needs help, and here comes Ghost Stick, because he's going to be enough to keep his allies alive. Tron is healing up. Darkseer is on his tail, and even Ghost Stick gets out the There's global silence as well. They do hit the stun onto Tron, but here comes a backup. Arzika's here. BZZ taking a little bit of damage. Stun is there. They can't really jump onto the Darkseer. He's too tanky. The Purge though onto Arzik will slow him down. That was because of the Sadist Banisher. And they get the kill. They're gonna get another one as well to BZZ. That looked like a terrible fight for the Radiant, then all of a sudden it turned into a completely beautiful one. They managed to save Tron, but you lose BZZ as well as Arzik in the process, and potentially a T2 as well.
Yeah, they've lost this tier 2 most definitely, and that swing is actually going to be 1,300 gold and 2,000 XP in our Danish Bears' favor. Let's actually just take a look at the game progression so far. So right now, Danish Bears are leading with about 4k in overall net worth and about 1.5 in overall XP. That's actually not that significant this late into the game. I mean, the net worth is certainly a concern because, let's be honest, Tornado ROX are the ones that really need to be ahead on the overall net worth if they want to be fighting against this death ball. And a Blink Dagger on this Alchemist, so you are 100% right about your early kind of assumption. He is going for that super early fighting, stunning kind of build, so I do like it.
It's just the way you have to play the Alph. You need to be ahead to essentially stay even with the enemy, especially when you're running an Alph. The hero just doesn't scale on the same level as others that he wanted to. Where's the backup? It's helpful. Push them away though. No, you just have the Juggernaut running away. They go for a little bit of a mini to keep BZZ alive. Blackstone is there. If they're damaged, can they do anything to this Oracle? He's dropping down. He will fall. It's going to be 3 heroes dead on the side of Danish Bears. And now it seems the tables have turned, as now it's going to be Tornado ROX's turn to take a huge, massive kill, not really kill lead, or they are leading, but they now get a tower on top of this as well. So both teams getting the same treatment.
Yeah, really well played by the Vengeful Spirit as well with that swap. Certainly saved the life of her carry, and on top of that, the Global Silence is once again showing its usefulness in these team fights. As long as they can get a good, proper global silence off, it looks like they win these team fights, at least so far. But as we saw with that last one, the last team fight before he had the global, it just did not work. Now, looks like there's going to be a Roche attempt. The Dire do have wards, so they will be able to spot out any response coming from the Radiant.
Global is up though, so this could be a big issue if Danish Bears not getting the spells that they want out in that Roche pit. So they have no wall for 25, Global is there, and we're gonna have Tron start off the fight space. He pops his BKB very early, I don't know what the jug, but he's just gonna spin all of the damage away. Oh my god, they jump straight onto two RZ as well as BCC drops. And looks like that Roche attempt turned out to be a big mistake as they're now being chased down. We've got our Oracle running away from Ghost Stick. Fortunately, Batrider by himself can't do much. There's gonna be a Roche steal. Oh my goodness, what's happening?
It was just a really great turn of events. I can't really say what happened in execution. I feel like overall the team fight was just a lot better on DB's side. Oh no, Ghostic stunned out, purifying flames, and a good right click from the Juggernaut's gonna finish him off. I will say though that
it could go either way.
It could, absolutely. I definitely will not call any of these games. We've seen teams, Danish Bears crumble near the high ground push, and that will be a big determining factor for Tornado ROX to be able to come back into this game. I feel like they have excellent high ground defense. They have Swap, they have the Lasso, they have the AA Blast, they have Call Down, Global Silence. All of these are going to be lending to an extremely powerful high ground defense, so definitely not out of this game.
Absolutely. And a rather interesting thing to note as well, we didn't really get to talk about these item pickups, but it ended up being a pipe on the Darkseer, and Mango was the one to finish up the mechanism. So it seems that they don't really want to prioritize the Guardian Greaves onto Darkseer, maybe they want to prioritize it onto Mango instead.
Both heroes would benefit from having them, and I actually really like the pipe pickup. We haven't seen actually pipe come out all that often. I feel like right now in the meta it's just not quite powerful enough, but what's your opinion on the pipe pickup?
In this game, it is very, very reasonable. Because you look at what Tornado ROX has, they don't have the highest damage burst spells. They've got a lot of tick damage, a lot of damage over time, that you want the fights to go long to get that progressive damage out. And if you can mitigate it with not just Hand of God, but also Mechanism and the Pipe, it's going to come to a point where Tornado ROX is going to start running out of damage. Oh, can they kill him though? He's got Armlet and he's also...
he's gone.
He just blinks up, yeah. He's just fine. A5 and Dota 2 are fine, just gonna cross over some games. But yeah, he's just... It's a problem here for Tornado ROX, because they're gonna start running out of damage, or they're gonna focus so much into one hero that they're out of gas for anyone else.
So is the strategy for Tornado ROX right now to just play as they have been, like a little bit passively, try to farm up their gyrocopter, and the second that they have some vision on maybe someone who's by himself, they smoke up and try to just get the pickoffs? No more team fights, or at least to try to avoid the team fights at the moment?
Ideally, yes, they would prefer to have those pickoffs, because for the moment, Danish Bears are very strong together. They're obviously the strongest when they have all of their heroes together with all their spells. If you can get pickoffs, then at least you weaken their 5-man unit, and then it prevents them from feeling safe when it comes to making any of these pushes happen. Like, they will never go high ground with 4 heroes, unless they, for example, have killed off 3. But it seems for now that Danish Bears, they're looking for heroes themselves. They won't find anybody except for Arzik in that top lane, and he might be a gravestone shortly. No, he will TP.
Yeah, good game sense though. Because should be mentioned that the Dire had no vision in their own jungle there. They just kind of... That's the thing about ours, is they're like, yeah, they're all off the map, and can't see them. They're not farming bottom. Bottom's pretty pushed out. They're probably in our jungle, and I'm going to get the heck out of here.
Absolutely. But it looks like this will be the last T2 standing as well for Tornado ROX, if they can't defend it. And not everyone's in position to defend it either. They have TPs on all of these. Yes, they do have TP. By the way, there is a bit of a... I don't know what that noise is.
Dire's top tower.
The humming noise could be the ward, maybe, or maybe it's me. We'll never know.
I don't know if it's a humming noise. It quite literally sounds like a bench saw.
I have no idea.
That was terrifying. But okay, that's fine. BKB on
It's the
Alchemist.
it's the sound of the radiant, you know, just sawing through the tier 2 top. That was what you were hearing. Yeah.
Okay. BKB picked up on Pingvin check. So this guy has gone from just reasonably tanky to now very, very tanky with magic immunity. And there is quite literally nothing that Tornado ROX has outside a lasso to control him.
Oh, but they're in position. They're smoked up. There's Gosick.
Oh, look at that game sense. Oh, actually, never mind. They wanted the AA instead. Faye? Okay, he's gonna end up being Faye. Global committed. Can they kill the Jug? He's reasonably tanky. Oh, Alchemist came in.
Oh!
That's on the wall. The combo has been thrown. Oh, they've quite literally ban-hammered 4 heroes off the map for Tornado ROX. That combination.
Wow, okay. MVP Darkseer right there, though. That vacuum wall was like the moment of truth right there. It was like really great team fight. Tornado ROX, you're gonna get that Juggernaut, and then all of a sudden, false promise vacuum wall, and they were wiped from the floor. Like, that was so impressive. And Go6 is doing his best to defend, but he can't really do much 1v5.
Dire's middle tower.
You also have to remember though, like the Alchemist came in with the multi-hero unstable hook option. So it's like props to both Pimvinchek as well as the Darkseer for those massive plays. And Ozzy's just gonna have some revenge on that poor wolf. It's fine. They get a little bit of gold, but unfortunately you lose a Rax. And a Alpha Wolf is not going to compensate for that. Oh, we've got to re-smoke it.
Oh, is it a fake back?
This is a fake back, absolutely.
Oh no.
They go for
Alchemist.
BCC.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Rip easy. There is a mini swap though, but it looks like it's going to end up being both of them dead now. Oh, this game is getting really hairy now for Tornado ROX.
Alright, let's take a quick look at the buybacks and see what's available. So does Gyro have buyback? No, he does not. So, this is a moment of truth, I feel. This is going to be the next kind of, moment. But I feel like Danish Bears are really just have this under control. There's going to be call down. AA Blast.
They don't mind though. They've got the pipe already deployed by the vacuum. Oh no, Ghost Stick wasn't even able to get anything. False promise again to prematurely cancel the stun.
I will say Oracle, also known as N, has been on the ball with those false promises. Every single time Ghostic goes in, he's just like, nope, you're not taking Jug away from me.
Not this time. And that's unfortunate too for ROX, because without the lasso, they've got no other form of initiation. They can try and go in, oh, there's going to be another initiation. They will pop a stun at least onto BZZ, mini swap to keep him alive. Penny finishes as well, he just chops him down. And unfortunately for Tron, you've only got a BKB and a Manta style. He doesn't care past, only flashes, rips them to shreds. That's going to be 2 dead with no buybacks as well. The rack still stands, but they're losing very crucial heroes. And Mango going to be kept alive for a little bit. Oh, Ghost Stick. He got stunned. Oh, look at N blinking in and finishing him off with the flames. What in the world is happening? Blinking oracles.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top
Yeah, it was also really well done. And actually saved the Chen's life by using the Fate's Edict. And then healed him up. And yeah, that's going to be GG coming out of Tornado ROX. So game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go in Danish Bears' favor. It looks like the rematch is not quite over though. But certainly a little bit of an advantage for DB here when we go into game number 2. Well, any last thoughts, Danny, before we head into game number 2 of this best of 3?